Now, next up, we're going to have a look at the preset manager within Chordjam. Now, when you add Chordjam to one of your projects within your DAW, obviously all of the settings will be saved to that project. However, using the preset manager allows you to save certain settings within here and load it in different projects. Now, this can be accessed by the little pencil icon here at the top right-hand corner of the screen, and this allows you to save various different elements of your Chordjam session. Now, this is broken up into 3 different columns. We have sessions, sequencer, and pads. The session allows you to save the whole session, so every single setting within Chordjam as it is currently. The second column is just saving the sequencer. So this is the current progression and pattern you have within there. And then finally, you have the ability to save pads. So if we close this down for a second, you can see here that I have some settings within the top part here. I've also got a sequence going on. And if we go into the pad section, you can also see I've got some pads already set up. And what I can do is I can go into the preset manager and I can save this whole session. And I'll click save. Now this is accessible every time that I open the Chordjam plugin. Whenever I put it in a new project, I can load this session and it will load everything that I had previously in it. The second option within the preset manager is being able to save the sequence. So this will actually save the progression and the pattern that you've got. So I can just save the sequence that I've got in here as my first sequence. I'll click save. And let's just do another example. I'm going to go out of here. I'm going to regenerate this sequence, come up with a new one. And then I'm going to save this one as well. I'm going to go to the edit tab again. And I'm going to do second sequence. So you can now see that I have 2 different sequences in there. And if I wanted to load the first one, for example, I could double click on it and it will then load it into the bottom section here. Now we've also got another little feature that's hidden away at the moment, our quick load bar. If I click on the presets button here, this will load our quick load bar. We can actually take a sequence and put it in here. So what I can do is I can go to the preset manager here, and you can see next to each one of these sequences, I can actually set the quick load position. So for example, this first sequence, I could put in the first quick load position, and I can put the second one in the second quick load position. If I exit out of here, you can now see that they're in 1 and 2. So if I click between those 2, it will load them up very quickly. This is really good for live performance. Now, there's actually a quick shortcut to saving your sequences within here. Rather than going to the preset manager every time and saving it from here, you can actually just click on one of the plus buttons on the quick load bar to save that sequence straight into there. If I click that, that is now saved on number 3. And if I go into the preset manager, you can see that's now within there. If you want to remove it from the quick load bar, you can easily just click on here and select the dash. That will now remove it from there, but it will still be under here if you want to keep that sequence. If you don't want to keep that sequence, you can just hit the delete button here. Another really handy option within here is that you don't even need to load the sequence to actually get the MIDI from it. You can see we have a little MIDI icon here. I can click and drag this straight into my DAW and get the MIDI notes straight from there. And finally, I can save pads. There's 2 different ways of doing this. We've shown you before how you can save it directly from here by pressing the save button. You can also go into the preset manager directly and save the pads from there. That will then save the current pads that are loaded up.